Hey guys, Simon here from the Overlanders. Alright, okay, now I'm going to show the best way to raise the airtop because there's a bit of a method, an act to it. You've got to do the front first and then the back. Right, here we go. So front first. Two latches at the front and then push it up. And then you can do the back. That's it now. How's that look? That clip's catch otherwise.
Oh, so smooth, baby.
Okay, it's set up after that, and of course everything is in there. These tents will fit. What I love to use the best is just a feather doona that'll compress down nicely, and it comes with the medium size here comes with 3 pillows, the smaller size comes with 2 pillows. All that fits in there, so once it's popped up you can pretty much go to bed. I just use a cotton sheet and a doona, and so you just treat it like a normal bed. Do a little bit of a twirl around, check it out. This is the black edition airtop in a medium size, which fits on the Land Rover here beautifully because it's a pretty boxy car, and is great for 2 people, maybe 2 people plus a kid. And a nice thing about the box shaped airtop is that you can top and tail a bit and you've got a bit of flexibility. It's parked on a little bit of a slope here next to the reservoir, but of course we'll have our heads up the top end, and you know, sometimes it's hard to get the campsite perfect, so you can, if you have it round the other way, you can always put your head at the front end of the tent. So that's kind of a nice thing about the boxy shaped ones. You're going to sleep under the car, aren't you, Doc?
Am I going to sleep under the car too?
So, a little more on the airtop. The other night we left in a hurry. I didn't get to do the pack up on video, so I'm going to pop it up again and then pack it up again so that you can see that bit of it. So my car is unusually set up in the sense that I am climbing up the rear ladder to get in and out of the tent, and that's an advantage of the airtop over the Maggiolina. I love the Maggiolina. Awesome tent. If you do need to get into the back of the vehicle, of the tent rather, for whatever reason, just however your vehicle's set up, then you can do that with the airtop and with the Columbus, of course, because it doesn't have that scissor mechanism blocking that entry point. So on my car, I'm using this little platform at the back as a kind of a back porch to get in and out of the tent. All of the tents come with ladders. Generally people get in and out of the tent at the side. I could do this here as well, and I will if I have an awning that's in the way or something like that. More often than not, the tent is set to the rear of the vehicle and you can access that back latch easily. always use the rear tires to stand on. Now you can see when I've packed it away, I've kind of thrown the doors into the tent a little bit. If you're traveling in super dusty conditions, especially if your tent is on a camper trailer where it's going to be, you know, sitting in the dust all the time, it's a good idea to shut all the doors, tuck everything in, make sure that the dust, if it enters the lid of the tent, doesn't actually get past that kind of fabric barrier to your bedding. So just a few tips there, but I'll pull those out now. So what I'm going to do actually is take you on a little tour inside the tent, you know, before I pack it up, just to kind of give you a sense of what goes on in there. Okay folks, so you're just climbing in your tent, and this is what you see. First, you have these elastics which are designed to pull the fabric in, so that when you are closing the tent, the fabric is pulled into the center so that it doesn't get squished in the sides. So there it is. This is the medium Airtop, and bloody love these things. So comfy, so great. Proper bed, feather doona, pillows, mattress. Oh man, if you are somebody that's used to a ground tent, it's chalk and cheese. Like, you won't know yourself using these. Having all this bulky stuff up here instead of in the car, your car is empty. That's one thing I noticed straight away when I switched to rooftop tents, is that you've got so much space in your vehicle, you know, having all this, the mattress, the pillows, the bedding, that's the bulky stuff, you know, that's the thing that fills your boot up to the brim. So having that on top of the car is just a kind of a piece of genius, you know. So yeah, this is it. Beautifully finished, beautifully made in Italy forever, since the 1950s. So Autohome, we've been really impressed by the way that Autohome have just incrementally improved things. You know, it's a kind of very Japanese idea of like Kaizen, you know, of each year there's a small improvement, just something little. So they're continuing to think, continuing to invent, continuing to make things better. So the Airtop has got this window at the end, which is operable from the inside. It's kind of, I love these kind of Italian arches, you know. But I mean, I like the way that they look, but the zips work so well, you know, as opposed to kind of a zip that you have to take around a corner. So they are great from that point of view. All right, now let's take you on a little tour of other things. And you know, there's something kind of great about looking through an arched window at the landscape in front of you. Now the mesh is worth mentioning. The mesh is a very fine MIDGE-PROOF mesh. You can perhaps see it there in detail. You know, there's no way that your small insects are going to get through there. Another nice thing about the Autohome product, and this goes for all of the tents, is that the top of the fly screen mesh, there's Velcro. So you can easily zip that whole fly screen door out and replace it. If you were to somehow, you know, if you camp with your dog up in the rooftop tent and they put their paw through it, you can easily replace those screens. So just to continue this explanation of how the door works, I'll just show you the system that is used. So you have on the inside the insect mesh. There's a tough flap at the base, so you don't have to worry about the mesh breaking. So you can roll that up here like so, and then there are Velcro straps at the top, so they will hold the screen door in place. And there you have the world. And between you and the world is the outer door. So there are clips to hold that in place. So that is your outer door. So what you can probably see there is blackness, and that's partly because this fabric that's used, this is the black edition tent, right? So it's black, everything is black, which looks bloody nice, but one cool thing is that it's very light proof. So in the mornings, the sun rises on the east side, obviously, it pretty much blocks out the light. It's really a dark place to be, you know, so you can sleep in the morning as long as the dogs aren't too annoying, and that's one thing I like about the black edition one. The fabric comes in different colors. This is the Draylon fabric, of course. This Draylon is just bloody magical in terms of the way condensation moves out of it, you know, but it is totally waterproof at the same time. So the way the doors work, just to show you now, you've got the outer door, which sits over the base of the tent and sheds water. This Draylon fabric, you know, is quite a heavy weight, so it's almost moleskin-like. Really nice to the touch. Then on the door, you've got an inner flap, okay, that's stitched onto the door. And then there's a Velcro strip inside. Now, if you're lazy, you can just pop it there, and then, you know, you will likely not be bothered. But the way that it's designed to work is you tuck that flap under the mattress, like so, and that is a properly insect-proof seal, right? There's nothing that can get through that. And then the zips come down, and that's how it works. And what I really like about that, what is really actually great about that, is that when the door is open, you know, if you're entering at the side of the tent, there's no zip to climb over, right? There's no zip to ruin. There's no zip to just damage by passing over. You know, like in an ordinary tent, the door has got a zip that comes around the bottom and you're sort of clambering over that zip. You don't have that here. You've just got this strong aluminium edge. So the door is rolled up and you've got nothing to break. They're a great quality zip. These nice little tags. Okay, now the other end of the tent, we've got, with the medium-sized tent, 145 centimeters wide, 3 pillows supplied with the tent, all 100% cotton covers on the pillows and on the mattress, made in Italy. I'm using in my tent too this pillow cover and mattress set with a top sheet as well. You can get a fitted sheet for your mattress. Now just a quick view of these struts. So what we have here is an arm, a strong steel arm, right? So that arm is kind of powered by a gas strut. So it's not just the struts, it's not like you have 4 struts just pushing up the top shell. You've got a rigid set of arms and the strut assists you to lift and lower the shell. I'll just give you a little zoom in of that. So there you can see the arm powered by the strut. Now if I give you another view, you can see, now I've got the spring system, which is a subject for another video, but that arm is connected across the base of the tent with a strong rod. So it's all tied together. So while you have a system that's not as kind of rigid as the Maggiolina, where you've got a scissor mechanism, you've got a pretty strong setup. Here, of course, we have the little Autohome touch activated lamps. Really nice, beautiful product. They really designed everything so well. Okay. And I rather like on this little setup, the little back porch. Such a nice place to be. I almost forgot to mention the net. So there's a generous net here. You know, you can stash pretty much your whole set of clothing in there and another blanket. And then at each side of the tent, there's also this set of pockets. So just a really lightweight mesh pocket set, and that's good for your phone, you know, specs, whatever. So when you're in here in the nights, you know, if you strip down, you can fit everything in there quite well. So let us know if you have any questions. We can guide you through which models kind of do what best. The Airtop, compared with the Maggiolina, like obviously a doddle to lift up. I love the Maggiolina, you know, it's a very controlled mechanism, so nice too. An advantage of the Airtop is that because you don't have that scissor mechanism at the ends, you've got more length in the tent. So if you're tall, you've got almost a 2.1 meter long mattress in this tent. If you're tall, that's great. If you need to get into the tent through the rear, it's great for that too. If you want something that'll just pop up, it's great for that. The Maggiolina I still love is a little more rigid, you know, in the wind, because you've got the scissor mechanism pushing against the fabric, which is in tension. Both awesome, you know. I've actually really enjoyed the boxy shape tent in comparison with the Columbus. It's a little cozier. It's a little more versatile in the sense that you can have your head at either end. I often sleep in here with my two kids, and we kind of top and tail and mix around. So if you've got kiddies and you want to chuck somebody down the other end, the boxy tents are great for that. So, you know, there are different situations where each one kind of shines in its own way, but really, like, you can't go wrong. I mean, they're all, you know, a brilliant place to be. A little different in the way that they set up. The Draylon fabric is a little thicker than the Airtex, a little more kind of soft to the touch. I really like it. They're both kind of wonderful, you know, made in Germany, the fabrics are, and they just do like I mean, to me, the fabric kind of makes a tent in a way, you know. I mean, that's what a tent is, right? It's a fabric house. And apart from of course, on the Autohome tents, you've got a heavily insulated base, a 25 millimeter, you know, insulation, rigid insulation in the base, an insulated roof, so you don't get condensation on the roof, of course. I've literally never experienced condensation on the walls of this Draylon fabric. It's just kind of wonderful the way that it does that. It works so much better than a tent with a fly. So yeah, give us a shout if you want to, you know, just talk through which models work best. There's different widths, of course. The medium, great for 2 or 2.5 people. The small, still great for 2. You notice the extra width in the medium, but the small, you know, fits so neatly on vehicles, gives you more roof rack space, and it's really fine for 2, depending on your idea of comfort. So yeah, get in touch with any cues and we'll help you out. Guys, just a note on the height inside the tent. I'm 6 foot tall. I'm sitting in a, you know, pretty relaxed way in here. It's fine, you know, so there's plenty of room to kind of move around, to get changed. If I were sitting in a kind of relaxed way, playing a game of cards, you know, if you want to use these tents, are a great place to hang out during the day. You can shut the insects out, and there's plenty of ventilation. There's enough height to be able to move freely and comfortably. Of course, in the Columbus, you've got that 1.5 meter area of height at the rear. The boxy tents have got a little more volume overall, so they do feel kind of cozy, but there's still space, you know. It's not as if you're kind of compressed by the box shape. Let's pack this thing away so you can see the drill. Okay, time to pack up. Let's do it. So, front first and then the back. So there's a strap here that you can use to pull the tent down. There's also a space. There's a space next to the strap that you can just tuck the fabric into, so that it's not pinched by the mechanism at all. I'll do the other side as well. is true on the Airtop, there's a little more to do than the Columbus, because of course you have to do the front end. But, you know, in comparison with a ground tent, so that's pretty easily overcome. Again, just tuck that bit of fabric in. Now it's pretty easy to get to the back latch. Now the front latches have got this really cool sprung mechanism where they just grab on automatically, so there's very little to do to shut it at the front. And that is the sum of it. I'll just show you a little zoom in on that front latch so you can see what I mean. So just a quick zoom in on the latches. You can see when I pull down the front end initially, I put these little cam latches up and they grab the top part of the latch. When you pull the rear of the tent down, they remain kind of hanging on. So by the time you get back around to the front of the tent to finish it off, they are ready to go. So it's just a matter of pulling those down. A beautifully made little latch. And that's it. These latches these were new to the Autohome line about a couple of years ago. The first tents we imported had the old style latch, which was very robust and good as well, but this one just kind of, these are little functional works of art, these latches. You can also get a locking latch with a key as an option. A little buggy, but yeah, a sprung mechanism. There's the thread in here, so you can unwind the latch to extend it a little bit if you've got more bedding in there. That's a wrap on the Airtop, I think, for now. And if you have any questions about it, please give us a bell. You know, we can talk about these tents all day long because we're kind of such a fan of the Autohome product. So glad to be importing them and distributing them in Australia because you know, they just work so well. Such a beautifully made and well thought out product. Still struggling a little bit with the wind here. I hope the sound is okay. So yeah, give us a hoy. You know, loving using the Airtop. Great. The black edition looks amazing. Really, I think you know, one of the nicest things out there to put on your roof. So thanks for watching. Click on the old subscribe thing because we're gonna try to keep doing these YouTube videos to explain things. We've got some super cool new products that we're bringing in. So yeah, keep an eye on things, and thanks again. See you on the tracks, guys. Cheers. What else to mention? Good night.